Continuing from the previous episode 2040. About 10 minutes later, an awe-inspiring silver palace quietly appeared in front of Xiao Yan's crowd. Atmospheric, magnificent, and even suffocating terrifying fluctuations slowly emerged from within, suppressing several people. Medicine King City, Alchemist Association. The entire Alchemist Association on Duty Continent was actually planned and supported by the Medicine Clan secretly, and the Alchemist Association in the Yaowing City was specially formed because of the celebration of the Medicine Clan, and every judge who lives in it now is extremely strict. The alchemist level that can be assessed here is undoubtedly the most authoritative, and also the most valuable. Looking up, the attic of the Silver Alchemist Association in front of me is quite atmospheric, like a mountain of bottles. There are few people around. Obviously, the profession of alchemist is quite rare here, but there is no doubt that there are some people who can enter here. Powerhouses with extremely superb refining skills, their eyes are extremely pious and hot, and they maintain the most respectful attitude towards high-level pharmacists. This is the Alchemist Association. There will be special attendants who will respond to you when you enter it. Whether you need to assess the level of an alchemist, use your identity as an alchemist to do some transactions or publish something, you can do it here. As long as you have the rank medal of the Alchemist Association, you will receive the most attentive service here. Yao Shigi looked at the silver palace in front of him, and couldn't help but burst into a frenzy in his eyes. The special magic power has attracted the aspirations of countless people. Welcome to the Alchemist Association. What do you two want to do? Xiao Yan and the three of them had just stepped into the Alchemist Association, and wisps of seductive medicinal incense came from the air of the hall. At the same time, an enchanting green-dressed woman paced slightly, appeared directly in front of the two, and laughed softly. The woman in the green skirt is elegant, with rouge muscles and a face like a pink peach. There is a dusty temperament between the lines. With her big watery eyes, she is indescribably moving, but the brocade silk and satin on her body are indescribable. The behavior is not like a member of the Alchemist Association. Let's go to the alchemist level assessment. Xiao Yan smiled softly, and didn't say much. Although this green skirt woman has excellent looks and temperament, compared with Zuner, she still has some deficiencies. Assessing the level of a pharmacist? The green skirt woman was slightly surprised when she heard the words, but Mei Mu was secretly surprised when she saw the beautiful woman beside Xiao Yan. I am just like a bud, just to set off others. Sister Yaoxuan, these two are here to assess the level of alchemists. I hope you don't embarrass them. The atmosphere in the hall was strange, and Yao Shigi hurriedly said. Of course, Yao Zan is not a member of the Alchemist Association. She is a talented member of the Yao family. She has a high status in the Yao family. Moreover, she was taken care of by Yao Zan when she was bullied several times, so Yao Shi was right. It was quite impressive. In that case, let me take you to the assessment area. I don't know what level of alchemist you want to assess? Lu Zan asked casually, but she was extremely curious. She can be regarded as one of the leaders of the younger generation among the pharmacists, but when she saw Zuner, whether it was her proud appearance or her tyrannical pharmacist strength, there was a faint sense of fall. The feeling of going downwind, even when he noticed Xiao Yan, an unfathomable aura permeated out of his body, making Yao Zan even more incredible. I want to examine. I don't know what level of alchemist can be assessed here, Xiao Yan said. Xiao Yan's medicine refining skills have fallen a lot, but now that his soul power is tyrannical, with the addition of flames and other means, he naturally wants to try his own limits. The pharmacists that can be assessed here are the 4th rank Immortal rank, the 5th rank Immortal rank, and the 6th rank Immortal rank. There are 3 ranks in total, Yao Zan said while taking the 3 to the second area of the hall's assessment area. Nowadays, the Medicine Clan Festival, Medicine King City is very lively, and it is inevitable that some young heroes will come to the assessment, but in the past few days, most of the people who came to assess the 4th rank Immortal rank, and even the 5th rank Immortal rank are quite rare. As for the 6th rank, still no one has checked. Is the 6th rank Immortal rank? I wonder if there is a higher rank here? Xiao Yan asked tentatively. His soul power had already stepped into the metamorphic realm, and the assessment of the 6th rank Immortal pharmacist was natural. There is no problem, but Xiao Yan still wants to sprint to the highest level. After the Immortal rank, it is the so-called Divine rank. 7th rank of God rank, 8th rank of Asterisk rank, and 9th rank of Asterisk rank. A god-level pharmacist has enough attraction and shocking power for an 8-star fighting immortal powerhouse, and it is what Xiaoyan urgently needs today. If he can obtain a god-level 7th-level pharmacist, this will be of great help to Xiaoyan. Saying that is icing on the cake. Oh, Yao Zhan couldn't help but look strange when she heard it, but she knew that with the huge soul power required for each level of the immortal rank alchemist, as well as the many requirements for heat and strength, this guy actually wanted to cross this rank. After the immortal rank, it is the asterisk rank refining pharmacist. Looking at the entire Douyin continent, there are very few younger generation who can reach it. I'm afraid that only the legendary ancient genius in their pharmacy clan can barely achieve it. The highest level of the assessment here is the 6th rank immortal rank. If you want to assess a higher rank, you can only do it after you successfully pass the 6th rank immortal rank refining pharmacist assessment. Although Yao Zhan was quite unconvinced, she was still convinced. Said politely, "Okay, let's test the 6th rank immortal rank, it's troublesome." Xiaoyan nodded immediately. After all, although his soul power had reached the entry qualification of the god rank medicine refining, Xiaoyan was also a little palpitated about the refining technology, so he retreated. "I begged. I chose immortal rank 6th rank. This is the chief steward of the association, Feng Lao, a real alchemist of the 6th rank of immortal rank, and she will be solely responsible for your assessment. I have to leave beforehand." Yao Zhan took Xiaoyan to a secret room, introduced Feng Lao to Xiaoyan, and left here in a hurry. "Hello Feng Lao. I'm here to assess the 6th grade pharmacist of the immortal rank." Xiaoyan said respectfully, "Yep, come with me. As for you guys, just wait here quietly." Feng Lao's eyes opened slightly, and a sense of vicissitudes emerged, and he immediately stepped forward, facing the assessment room. Go! It can be seen that this old man is not only a pharmacist at the peak of the 6th grade immortal rank, but also a powerhouse with the strength of an 8-star fighting immortal. But, seeing that she was about to separate from Xiaoyan, Zuner said with some worry in her eyes, "Don't worry, I'll be in a hurry as soon as possible." Xiaoyan hugged Zuner with peace of mind, alleviating her worries. "Little girl, don't worry, it won't take long for the assessment, at most a stick of incense." There is an extremely mysterious power in Zuner that makes Feng Lao feel warm for a while, and suddenly said, Feng Lao finished speaking, his body slightly move, wave a big hand, and a special space barrier emerges. Zuner heard this, and there was a look of reluctance in her beautiful eyes. Wei waved to Xiaoyan. Zhu. The seductive scent of medicinal herbs diffused out from the space barrier. The space barrier in front of them is obviously the passage leading to the assessment area. The assessment of alchemists of the immortal rank has reached the level of protection and attention by the association, so one-to-one individual monitoring and assessment is adopted, and the assessment of alchemists of the immortal rank is the same as that of ordinary pharmacists. Alchemists are not the same. After all, they can reach the immortal rank when they are young. I am afraid that there will be a slight chance of coveting the divine rank in the future. Just the word divine rank is enough to cause countless strong people to sigh. Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2041. With a sound, Feng Lao and Xiaoyan directly penetrated the space barrier and arrived at the assessment site. This is the place where you will assess the 6th grade pharmacist of the immortal rank. Feng Lao's gray eyes swept slightly, and he said after confirming that there was no danger here. Assessing the land of the 6th rank immortal rank, looking around, this is a small world. In the small world, birds and flowers are fragrant, and countless silver rocks are paving the way. The rules of these stones are extremely strange, like a piece of armor, and Xiaoyan and the two it is on a flat ground among the rocks of the small world. Inside the rock under the feet, a shocking and terrifying energy overflows everywhere, and even a trace of scorching temperature accompanies it. It seems that what they are stepping on is not a rock, but more like a sleeping behemoth. This is a small world. It was built by the great power of our medicine family. It is also very simple to assess the 6th rank immortal rank. There are only 2 steps. The first item is to verify that you have the corresponding soul power and control the firepower, so the first step is to refine the medicine pill. Feng Lao said casually, his voice did not have any warmth, with her savage eyes, It was natural to be able to. It was noticed that the confidence on Xiaoyan's face came from the profound soul power in his body, but the 6th grade alchemist of the immortal rank was not enough to rely on his soul power. The subdivision, the control of the heat, any more or less will affect the success or failure of the medicine pill. Feng Lao is one of the elders of the medicine clan. He has seen too many frivolous people like Xiaoyan on weekdays, but in his hands, none of the 6th rank pharmacists have been successfully assessed, so he is known as the most strict and demanding guy in the medicine family, but if he can succeed in the assessment under her supervision, it must be enough to prove his strength. Yes. Xiaoyan nodded, his eyes and palms became hot, and he couldn't help but look eager to try. Here is the 6th grade immortal rank, the 3rd rank prescription of Tiandi and Zan, and 3 medicinal materials. After I take out your alchemist rank medal, I will look at it to confirm my identity, and then I can start. Time passes slowly here, and 1 month is no more than 1 stick of incense outside. After 1 month or all 3 medicinal herbs fail, your assessment will also end in failure. Feng Lao said, "This kind of special small world is obviously only used when evaluating alchemists. After all, even if it is opened up by the great power, if it stays for a long time, I am afraid that it will be involved in the turbulent flow of time and space, and then there will be 9 deaths. I don't have the medal of refining medicine master, but I have registered for the 4th rank of immortal rank before, but the medal has been forgotten. Please let me try it out, senior." Hearing Feng Lao say this, Xiaoyan couldn't help but face dark, and could only be hard. Said with a scalp, "Don't have the medal of alchemist? Then how did you get into Medicine King City? Now that the grand ceremony of the medicine clan is imminent, I'd better place you under house arrest and wait for your identity to be ascertained. I will naturally give you justice and offend you." Hearing Xiaoyan's voice, Feng Lao's eyes slowly contained a hint of an extremely cold murderous aura. The meaning of the words is suddenly clear. "Senior." Xiaoyan's pressure increased greatly, and suddenly the spiritual palace in his body slowly trembled, and a surging soul force like a galaxy swept out, and the two competed against each other for a while, forming 2 beautiful worlds in this small rock world. Landscape. Forget it. I'll let you try it. After taking a breath, Old Feng flicked the palm of his hand casually. "Thank you for your accomplishment, senior." Hearing Old Feng agree, Xiaoyan directly removed his soul power, and the place returned to peace. This guy's spiritual palace is like a vast universe, unfathomable. Even I feel a palpitations, such a terrifying guy. This level of soul power is enough to qualify for the 7th immortal rank assessment, but pharmacists don't just rely on soul power. Watching Xiaoyan walk towards the 3 volumes of prescriptions in front of him, Feng Lao was trembling in front of him. Said in my heart, the seemingly simple soul competition just now, if I hadn't spoken out in time to stop it, I'm afraid it would only end in my own failure. My soul power has not yet entered the Huayuan realm, and the spiritual palace has only filled the 2nd floor. Naturally, it is not as good as Xiaoyan, so after a simple contest, Feng Lao felt that Xiaoyan's soul power is really terrifying and tyrannical. I hope you won't let me down. A 6th rank immortal rank has a slim chance to compete with all the geniuses of the world. At that time, the title of the #1 alchemist in this continent will bring you countless prestige and unexpected benefits. After whispering softly, Old Feng's eyes were fixed on Xiaoyan. Recovering immortal pill, immortal rank 6th stage profound rank. Taking this pill can keep the soul immortal for an hour. It is a magical medicine when it is severely damaged by life and death, but it can only last for 1 stick of incense. After 1 stick of incense, if there is no healing from the strongest, the soul will also be scattered. The required medicinal materials: soul-broken chalcedony, immortal essence iron. Xiaoyan murmured as he looked at the last volume of the 3 volumes of prescriptions. It's not bad. Xiaoyan nodded. Judging from the introduction of this medicinal pill's efficacy, this pill is indeed extraordinary, but Xiaoyan is already immortal, and this medicinal pill is useless to him. Du Beast Pill, immortal rank 6th grade Earth grade pill. This pill is specially used for myriad spirits such as beasts and cannot be taken by humans. After beasts or myriad spirits are taken, they can stimulate their own potential and increase the success of transcending tribulations. The rate is the only treasure of the monsters to overcome the calamity. The required medicinal materials: blood demon dansui, qingnanmu. Zaidu turned his head to look at the second volume of prescriptions. Xiaoyan couldn't help but feel a slight dizziness in his heart. This kind of medicine pill is useless to me, but it is of great value to some powerful beasts or mystical creatures. All things in the world, whether they are beasts or some illusionary supernatural beings, although they are not as smart as humans and can cultivate smoothly, they have had a long life since ancient times. However, the rules of heaven and earth do not allow all things to be supernatural. After 10,000 years of life, there will be a catastrophe. Heavenly robbery is mighty, irresistible, countless supernatural beings, and there are very few who can safely pass through the calamity, but those who can pass through, whether it is strength or life, will be greatly improved, and that kind of improvement is even more powerful than reincarnation tribulation. This has also caused those supreme supernatural beings to love these elixir that can increase the success rate of transcending a calamity in their eyes. This elixir is a priceless treasure. Human powerhouses break through the 8-star fighting immortals, that is, they step into reincarnation. The reincarnation is divided into 9 levels, each of which is extremely dangerous. Once the strength of the magical beasts breaks through the 8-star fighting immortals, they will be restricted by heaven and earth until their lifespan reaches 10,000 years old, will usher in the first catastrophe, so every supernatural being with a long life is undoubtedly a Zeon, at least in existence comparable to human reincarnation. The reincarnation tribulation is even inferior to the supernatural calamity. Under normal circumstances, a reincarnation powerhouse who has survived a reincarnation calamity cannot be a supernatural opponent who has survived a calamity. Use common sense. Fengzi Yao Dan, a 6th grade immortal rank pill. The effect of this pill is not tyrannical to normal people, but it has a unique advantage for some special groups. After taking it, it can greatly increase the affinity and absorption of various elements. It is necessary for some powerful people with special power to burst out some of the power accumulated in the body for many years and release it in the way of awakening. The herbs you need, Yun Tirui, Qinshui Lingzi. His eyes were looking at the 3rd volume of prescriptions, but Xiaoyan's eyes couldn't help but laugh. It seems that this trip to the medicine clan must have gone too smoothly, right? Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2042. If you're ready and choose a prescription, let's get started. By the way, the medicinal pills you refined this time do not need to be returned to the Alchemist Association after the end of the assessment. They can be included in your pocket. We will not interfere. This is also the privilege for alchemists whose rank is higher than the rank of Immortal rank 5 and above. One of them, Feng Lao, did not forget to say to Xiaoyan, "It's so good." Xiaoyan couldn't help laughing when he heard the words. This Alchemist Association is really rich and rich. No wonder that countless people have to come to participate in the ceremony of the medicine clan, and the relationship has so many benefits. Although the Immortal level 6th grade heaven level prescription and 3 medicinal materials are replicas, their value may not be measured by money. In the eyes of alchemists, this kind of prescription is hard to find, and its value is even higher than that of immortality. On the fighting skill scroll, it's decided. I'll choose Fengzi Yao Dan. Xiaoyan looked extremely determined. After taking a breath, he held the simple and yellowed scroll in his palm, feeling the terrifying depression, and couldn't help but say, "Okay, the examination begins. But I have to remind you in advance, don't try to be careful during the assessment process. Your every move will be under my supervision. If you have other thoughts, I'm afraid this assessment will only end in failure." Feng Lao, he said lightly, but he was still quite surprised by Xiaoyan. It is extremely difficult to refine the Fengzi Yaodan of the 6th rank of Immortal rank. Even for her, under the 3 medicinal materials, the success rate is probably less than 40%. She has some expectations and wants to see how confident this guy is. And even if it fails, it is also kind of training for Xiaoyan, she thought. Wang buzzing. Xiaoyan nodded lightly, without hesitation. The dazzling soul power was released and attacked all the scrolls. Naturally, this was to understand some important information in the prescription, so that he could do it. 10 minutes later, Xiaoyan opened his eyes slowly. Now that he has fully understood all the prescriptions, he can start refining. Fire! Fenju started to run in Xiaoyan's body, and waves of boiling surging meanings emerged. It seemed that under the interaction of Shengyan and Fenju also slowly responded to Xiaoyan, and waited until Xiaoyan stepped in. During the 8-star fighting immortals or samsara, he will be cultivated in the 6 realms of Fenju, and at that time he will be regarded as the #1 person in ancient and modern times. This is Holy Flame? Feng Lao saw that the amber flame in front of Xiaoyan was easily under Xiaoyan's control, and directly transformed into a giant flame in the void in front of him. The terrifying temperature contained in it actually made this small world tremble slightly. Get up, can't help losing your voice. As a high-level pharmacist, his perception of flames is extremely sensitive. Xiaoyan's body is extremely tyrannical and domineering, and it may be enough to rank the top 14 holy flames on the holy flame list. For the alchemist, the most important thing in refining medicine pills is the flame and medicine cauldron, similar to other soul powers, etc. are slightly weaker, and now Xiaoyan's 5 holy flames are fused to create a new flame, even because of this. A new source of holy flame has been released. With the current source of holy flame from Amber Rock's soul fire, Xiaoyan is confident enough to compete with the late-stage 8-star fighting immortals. Of course, it only has the power of a single blow, but this was only realized by Xiaoyan after the end of the catastrophe of the ancient clan, and it has not been used before. Furthermore, Xiaoyan is also quite helpless towards the medicinal cauldron. After all, there are too few medicinal cauldrons that can withstand the flame of the holy flame. I am afraid that only the medicinal cauldron in the legendary holy cauldron can do it, but Xiaoyan has no time to go. Over time, Xiaoyan also likes to directly use the holy flame to transform the flame medicine cauldron. It's really an astonishing little guy with endless means. At this moment, Feng Lao changed his previous contemptuous attitude. His eyes were extraordinarily solemn, and he didn't seem to want to miss any of Xiaoyan's actions, even carefully discerning Xiaoyan's flames. Composition: I want to tell which flower its holy flame is on the holy flame list. The new holy flame formed by the fusion of 5 holy flames cannot be detected even by Feng Lao's experience. Heart is divided into 3 functions: Yun Tirui, Qin Shui Lingzi, and the neutralizing liquid. Watching the flames rising in the flaming medicine cauldron, the temperature finally reached a terrifying level. Xiaoyan put the 3 herbs among them. 1 pair is divided into 3 parts, and they are thrown into the giant flame cauldron in an orderly manner. Boom! The 3 groups of medicinal materials were slowly shaken by Xiaoyan Shengen's baking. Obviously, it would not be long before the first step of refining the medicinal materials would be completely completed. It's a good man who has 3 uses for his heart. He's really a terrifying guy. For Xiaoyan's move, even Feng Lao, who has always had a very high vision, couldn't help but admire him. The mind is divided into 3 uses, not only requires extremely huge soul power, but even more stringent requirements for the control of flame and soul power, because 3 kinds of medicinal materials are extracted at the same time. If there is any problem with one of them, there is only one way to fail. However, Feng Lao did not find the slightest embarrassment from Xiaoyan, and even Xiaoyan was able to handle it with ease, quite relaxed. Hoo, your hands are a little rusty, let's slow down. The dazzling soul power controls the 3 groups of medicinal materials in the flaming cauldron. Once there is any uneven energy, Xiaoyan will immediately take action to stabilize his power. Therefore, in the hands of ordinary pharmacists, this medicinal material that is extremely difficult to refine like a stubborn stone, in the hands of Xiaoyan, it is like a tame cat, and there is no resistance at all. The fire of holy flame is so terrifying. Once the time has passed, it will be 10 days. In 10 days, Xiaoyan still maintains the appearance of 3 uses. Even after 10 days, he still can't see any qi deficiency. Obviously, this guy is bound to win this assessment. Boom! On the 10th day, Xiaoyan's eyes slowly opened, and he saw that the 2 core medicinal materials in the giant flame cauldron had been shattered. A trace of cracks emerged from his body. The rich medicinal materials contain a huge amount of energy, and the neutralizing medicinal materials have already been transformed into a pool of emerald-colored liquid, which was quietly wrapped by the flame and stored in the huge flame cauldron. Almost. Break it for me, Xiaoyan said slightly, and immediately waved his palm against the giant flame cauldron, and more dazzling and turbulent amber flames poured into it, turning into vicious snakes, opening their blood basins and facing the 2 cores. The medicinal herbs were bitten away. Kacha! After a while, the two herbs didn't last long before they were completely melted away by Xiaoyan. For a time, in the huge flame cauldron, the neutralizing medicinal liquid, the jade medicinal liquid, the gray liquid and the silver liquid formed by the two core medicinal materials, there was quite a three-legged situation. My good guy, it only took 10 days, even with the credit of the holy flame, but this is the first time I have seen such a terrifying fire control technique. Even those who are proud of the family are not too conceited. But although the first step of extraction was successful, the next fusion is even Dan Lei. How are you doing? The better the quality of the pills, the more dangerous the pills they have to endure. Feng Lao sometimes admired it, and sometimes laughed jokingly. It seemed that this guy named Xiaoyan made her calm heart, facing unprecedented shock. Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2043. Melting it for me. Looking at the 3 globs of liquid escaping from the flaming cauldron, Xiaoyan had long expected that the amber flames would turn into giant nets of flames, covering it directly and suppressing it, making it unable to move in the slightest. Can only let Xiaoyan swing. Wang buzzing. No matter how they struggled, the terrifying repulsion force was pressed down by Xiaoyan. After a while, the 3 groups of liquid suddenly became quiet, and began to fuse under Xiaoyan's delicate control. At the same time, with the beginning of Xiaoyan's fusion, the entire sky became quiet, and there were no problems along the way. It was as easy as grasping it. The fusion of Dan did not last long. After a few hours, in the whole small world, looming Dan incense swept out from the huge flame cauldron in front of him, and in the sky, a golden arc of light appeared first, and they were like raindrops. After the dripping, the whole world trembled abruptly. After the breath, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and pieces of terrifying thunderclouds slowly formed. What kind of Dan Lei is this? Xiaoyan couldn't help but separate out a trace of his mind. He paid attention to the terrifying thunderclouds in the sky, swallowed hard, and looked at the sky in amazement. In the vast sky, pieces of pitch-black thunderclouds shrouded the entire sky, causing this small world to be torn apart by such terrifying thunderclouds. In the thundercloud, a trace of golden thunder arc appeared extremely tyrannical, and even with that kind of power, Xiaoyan had a rare heart palpitation. No bones left. What is the Dan Lei produced by the Immortal rank 6th grade heaven rank medicinal pill? Xiaoyan thought, my good fellow, it's actually the most terrifying 9 profound magic lightning among the Immortal rank alchemists. And this guy's technique of melting pills is extremely skilled, and his potential is terrifying, not only at the 6th rank heavenly level. Watching Xiaoyan from the beginning of refining pills, extracting medicinal materials, and melting pills in a series of assessments, Feng Lao standing in the sky, a flame barrier was drawn around him to protect himself. Dan Lei is the last step in the success of refining medicine. If it is not a last resort, Feng Lao will not make a move, because once Feng Lao makes a move, Xiaoyan's assessment will also end in failure. Furthermore, on the way of refining pharmacists, Emperor rank, Immortal rank, and even Saint rank each have their own unique pill thunder tribulation. After a few breaths, the tumbling of the pitch-black thundercloud finally reached its peak. Xiaoyan saw a golden arc of lightning abruptly rush out from the pitch-black thundercloud, rushing out like a forward in a fierce army. Roaring at Xiaoyan, the golden arc of thunder is extremely dazzling, like a dazzling star falling into the mortal world, with a terrifying power that destroys and destroys, and that power is enough to overwhelm mountains and destroy all things easily. It's good to come. Dragon God transformation. Seeing this, Xiaoyan smiled slightly. The Dragon God transformation was displayed in his body, and Xiaoyan's muscles tightened to an extremely terrifying degree. There was no doubt that Xiao Yongguang would rely on the use of the Dragon God transformation. The physical strength is enough to collapse the mountains and the ground, even if it is a head-on confrontation with the real 8-star fighting immortals, there is no problem. This kind of golden thunder arc is obviously just Lei Yun's tentative attack, so Xiaoyan did not dare to take it lightly, and chose to directly resist with his own tyrannical body and the increase of the Dragon God transformation. Be prepared. Crash! When the golden arc of lightning approached Xiaoyan's body dozens of meters, it easily turned into a lightning arrow, and the sound of breaking wind was endless and buzzing. Crack! With a sound, Xiaoyan calmed down and gathered all of his strength on his fist, the dragon *** transformed, the power of blood boiled, and suddenly bombarded him away. Hoo! What a terrifying power of thunder! The golden arrow turned into countless powders and disappeared in midair, while Xiaoyan's arm was aching faintly, and a numbness spread throughout Xiaoyan's mind. The body, this level of Dan Lei, even Xiaoyan, who has the dragon god transformation, is extremely difficult. If it is an ordinary alchemist, I am afraid that there will be no bones to be blasted. This is the 7 profound demon lightning, and it is the most terrifying pill lightning among the immortal rank alchemists. The fact that you can trigger such a terrifying pill thunder tribulation is enough to prove that you have an extremely terrifying foundation. As for surpassing the 6th rank, the pinnacle of the immortal pharmacist, and the 7th rank, that level is the color of the 7 profound demonic thunder. Divide. From 1 to 7, the 7-colored 7 profound demon thunder monkey can step into the holy rank that countless alchemists dream of. Feng Lao hurriedly explained to Xiaoyan. Dong dong dong. The golden arc of thunder in the pitch-black thundercloud was easily taken over by Xiaoyan. Those thunderclouds squirmed abruptly, slow brewing, fermenting. The thunderclouds rolled, and the stratus clouds became even more bizarre in an instant. An extremely terrifying depression was vented directly from the thunderclouds in the sky, like the wrath of the gods, ready to punish the world with thunder. Hoo! When Xiaoyan saw this, the dragon god transformation and the blood vessels in his body were boiling. He held his palm tightly. Drops of sweat appeared on his forehead, standing up like an electric shock. Old buddy, you seem to have forgotten me. In an instant, just as Xiaoyan was preparing to use the fire of holy flame to cooperate with the dragon god's hardening resistance, a dashing laughter and a figure flew out from Xiaoyan's soul realm, quiet. Sitting upright in front of Xiaoyan. Xiao Lei? Xiaoyan couldn't help but said in surprise. Prepare. Xiao Lei had just appeared, and it was too late to talk to Xiaoyan. After all, the two came together as one, and naturally they had a good heart. The cumulus clouds in the sky were finally brewing, and a terrifying thunderbolt that was enough to traverse the entire small world was like a roaming head. The eagle in the sky, looking down from above, despised Xiaoyan. The efficacy contained in some high-level medicinal pills has reached the level of jealousy, so the birth of every high-level medicinal pill will be accompanied by this kind of terrifying thunder. Crash! At the beginning of Lei Wei's appearance, Xiaoyan and Xiao Lei tightened their bodies at the same time, and immediately exerted their strength to the limit, staring solemnly at the thunderbeam in the sky. Boom! Lei Wei filled the air. It was more like the palace aura of an exclusive god's mansion. Just after it spread, the clouds in the sky stopped shaking instantly. After the blink of an eye, at the vortex in the center of the thundercloud, a golden thunder arc is born. It just appeared. The whole small world was completely quiet, and it seemed that it would be completely annihilated under its power in the next moment. Rumble. There is nothing like it. The speed of the golden thunder arc skyrocketed, and it fell from the sky. It was like a supreme power in the shrine, scattered with endless splendor, easily leaving the thundercloud whirlpool, passing through the void, with a stream of light. Scalp-numbing horror power is coming. Stop it. Xiaoyan and Xiao Lei looked at each other, looking at the flaming cauldron that had become a Dan. The speed of the two soared, and they shot directly at it. Boom! The deafening voice was like a tidal wave of energy, which completely spread, but no matter how tyrannical this thunder was, it was slowly weakened by the cooperation of Xiaoyan and the two. It's about time. Seeing that the power of the 7 profound magic lightning was greatly reduced, Xiaoyan smiled at Xiao Lei. Zilala! Who? As soon as the voice fell, the mighty golden thunder arc was forcibly divided into 2 halves by Xiaoyan, and then slowly wrapped around the bodies of Xiaoyan and the two, and the screams of living ghosts and wolves emerged, but at the same time, Dan Lei also disappeared slowly, and even Xiaoyan's physical strength was improved to a higher level. Most importantly, after Xiao Lei absorbed these thunderbolts, Xiaoyan vaguely felt that the connection between the two of them had become weaker, and Xiao Lei seemed to have some signs of becoming independent from himself. Will be so. Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2044. Tisk. He really is an out-and-out lunatic. Holy flame, the huge soul power, coupled with the soul clone, and even now chooses to absorb the thunder power of the 7 profound demon lightning to strengthen the physical power. This guy is one of the geniuses I have seen throughout the ages. The most terrifying one. Even if it is faced by the real pride of the family, I am afraid that they will not be able to obtain much benefit. I am afraid that this child will become the Taishan Beidou of the refining pharmacist world in the future. Watching the sky rolling and thunder falling into Xiaoyan's body without a trace, their bodies became stronger and stronger, as hard as a mountain. The old man couldn't help but murmured. His voice was extremely gratifying. It was obvious that even she was ashamed of the talent that this guy showed as an alchemist. Boom! In the sky, Xiaoyan and Xiaolei were continuously absorbing the 7 profound demonic lightning, and they slowly opened their eyes after a long time, but their aura and strength both skyrocketed a bit. What's more, Xiaoyan found that Xiaolei's love for thunder power surpassed most of the power, and I am afraid that when he absorbs some power, it will mutate. Give it to me. The thunder cloud dissipated, and a dark red elixir the size of a longan in the flaming cauldron immediately exuded an endless fragrance, which was alluring. Zhu! With a roar, the elixir was completely fused, and the current Fengzi Yaodin was finally successfully made in Xiaoyan's hands. Want to run? Spirit-devouring blood tablet, suppress me. Seeing that the medicinal pill had just been fused, a fearful force awakened directly from the medicinal pill itself, and Xiaoyan waved his hand to prevent the spirit of the medicinal pill from reacting. Come here, it is a complete suppression. Senior, fortunately not to be humiliated. He took out a good jade bottle, carefully placed the medicinal pills, and immediately walked towards Feng Lao. As for Xiaolei, he returned to his soul after absorbing the 7 profound demonic lightning. In the sea, it seems that some kind of special transformation is taking place. Not bad, not bad, the medicinal pills are of high quality, and you passed the first test. Feng Lao gently took the medicinal pill in Xiaoyan's hand to identify it carefully, and then returned it to Xiaoyan after taking a good breath, and said with a smile. It has to be said that Xiaoyan's success rate and the quality of his medicinal pills have surpassed him, which makes Feng Lao vaguely ashamed, but Feng Lao is also an experienced pharmacist, and naturally he will not stick to such trivial matters. The first time you passed it perfectly, but there is still a second level, so don't be too happy. If you fail the second test, the assessment will naturally end in failure. Seeing Xiaoyan's bright smile, Feng Lao poured a basin of cold water down. I don't know what the second test is. I also asked Senior for guidance. Xiaoyan carefully put away the medicinal pills, and immediately looked at Feng Lao. The second level, it's easy to say, but difficult to say. The composition of a pharmacist, in addition to the huge soul power, flame, and perception, also requires huge fighting spirit as support. After all, every time a high-level pharmacist refines an elixir, it takes at least 10 days and a half months, and as many as several months, so strength becomes very important. We alchemists have our unique advantages, and we don't need such tyrannical combat power, but we can't be careless about some dangers and power. But because of your perfect performance in the first test, I decided to adjust the test difficulty for you. After Feng Lao finished speaking, he couldn't help but laugh. Quote. Xiaoyan heard the words, his head was full of black lines, and he even felt that he might have fallen into Old Feng's scheme. The second level of the ordinary pharmacist assessment is to fight against a monster. If you persist for 3 days, you can successfully pass the level. But for you, I hope you can defeat the beasts. Don't underestimate this kind of challenge. Once you succeed in the assessment, alchemists of the same level will look at you with admiration, because this is a level hailed as a hell-style assessment by countless pharmacists. Imagine that a high-level pharmacist is also a strong man with explosive combat power. That kind of shocking power is really terrifying. How is it? Do you have confidence? Old Feng said expectantly. What's the benefit of this *** mode? Xiaoyan asked rhetorically. He only needs an alchemist medal to participate in the Medicine Clan festival. If this *** mode is not beneficial at all, Xiaoyan naturally does not need to do these thankless things. The benefit is to become the object of respect among countless pharmacists. Feng Lao deliberately said vaguely. Then Xiaoyan said with an unfinished smile. I said, boy, don't give it to my mother-in-law. That's it. Without waiting for Xiaoyan's approval, Feng Lao's body disappeared instantly, leaving only a malicious smile. CC. For some reason, Xiao Yan felt a chill in his body and couldn't help shivering. This small world seems to be blocked and cannot be accessed? Feng Lao's masterpiece? Xiao Yan asked in doubt as he fell into the small rock world. Boom! Just when Xiao was puzzled, the whole world suddenly trembled, the ground shook, the mountains and rivers collapsed, as if the world was slowly crumbling. What's the situation? Xiao Yan only felt that the whole world was shaking, and an awe-inspiring touch appeared in his heart. I'm sorry, this is the Taishan Beidou level overlord in the World of Warcraft, the Titan Mammoth? At the next moment, Xiao Yan walked slowly, but found two white jade stone pillars curved like a crescent moon, and immediately saw an elephant trunk like the Optimus pillar appeared in shock, suddenly raised his head, and couldn't help losing his voice. What was reflected in front of Xiao Yan was a huge face, and there was a lot of laziness in his face. It was obvious that this guy had just woken up from a deep sleep. Looking back at Dujiao, the rocky place just checked is clearly a vast area on the elephant trunk of the Titan Mammoth. Wang buzzing. At this moment Xiao Yan's pores instantly exploded, and an unprecedented palpitation swept through his heart. There are many monsters in the World of Warcraft, among which the Titan Mammoth is undoubtedly one of the most representative overlords. If it is the power of the light wheel, even the power of the 10-colored swallowing python on Kalen's body cannot really fight against it. The Titan Mammoth in front of it is shaped like a giant elephant. It is 100 meters tall and has 4 limbs. The strength contained in the thick limbs may be enough to crush countless beasts of the same level. Its head is extremely huge, elephant trunk, above the ivory. There is an ancient fluctuation. This guy is the best representative of power. Boom! The Titan Mammoth shook, shaking its plump body weighing tens of thousands of pounds. Those khaki-colored rocks suddenly shattered, and layers of black fine long hairs emerged. The rocks just now were just a layer of rock shackles. I'm afraid this guy just didn't know where to play to be contaminated. At this moment, Xiao Yan's body was shocked, but the dragon *** in his body did not show anything, involuntarily. The terrifying aura of the exclusive dragon race is undoubtedly on display. World of Warcraft giant Titan Mammoth? But compared to the Dragon Clan standing at the top of all myriad things, what is it? Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website.